How come most startups fail, even when we have more tactics and strategies than ever before? Join the bedside chat of an entrepreneurial couple as they share what it takes to create a business with ease and in flow.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another Biz in Flow bedside chat. I'm Natasha
And I'm Jachym.
Jachym is at quite exhausted level.
Tired, very tired.
But still a good sport because you're here with me and you're not sleeping like you did. I was with my eyes closed the other podcast. There's a reason why this is not a video series and an audio series.
That's right. Sorry, I'm yawning.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know it's real.
Of course it's real. So let's get to it. I want to talk about leadership today, Jachym.
Again?
I know that quite a few episodes back, how many was that? Around 10?
I don't remember.
Can't give you a straight number, but quite a few episodes back we talked about leadership and how sometimes people feel like that's a mask you have to put on and that there's actually a natural leadership or leader within you who can show up confidently, who can just be in a room and demand that respect without you needing to act in a certain way or to repeat some kind of behavior that you learn from some kind of leadership book that you're trying to imitate, right? So we established that quite a few episodes ago. But what I want to talk to you about today, Jachym, is how we began to realize that yes, we're here to help solopreneurs, but on another level, we're really here to help individuals who have a feeling. It might not be so far that they even have a vision or an idea of what it is that they want to share with the world, but they have a feeling that they want to give something, they want to do something. So how does that relate to leadership in your mind? Because for me, that's kind of related. If we help people to become that, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I believe leadership is vastly misunderstood because we assume that people who are called leaders are people who are in business or are in managing position or are in a leading position in some way, shape or form. And being in a position where you're leading people doesn't necessarily make you a leader in my book. And here's why. Because a leader for me personally has a vision. They want to bring something to life. There's a reason why they're doing it. They're not just executing a job for a job's sake. They have a vision that's much, much bigger than they are. And they are using other people and their resources and all of that. They're orchestrating whatever is needed to bring that vision to fruition. And people who align with that vision, they come and want to contribute to this. And as well, what in my book a really good leader is someone who is actually fully aligned with themselves. And it's not just a nice idea, but it's their whole heart and their whole being that is in whatever that they are doing.
I wouldn't call it they use other people.
I know, when I said it, I thought that was a bad way of saying it, but I hope you get what I'm trying to say.
I think they're mobilizing people and guiding them towards the same vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, and along the same lines, we've been diving still in the book of Traction because there's so much going on within that book. And one thing is to not only align the leadership team, of course, right? But also, what did it say about that annual meeting?
Well, not even just annual meeting, in a quarterly meeting, you're meeting with the whole company and you are updating on the progress and you are letting them know what the new goals are for the next quarter. And it really just aligns the whole team to be part of this vision so that everyone in the company, from the secretary and the cleaning lady to the CEO and whoever else is there, is aligned with what the company is actually wanting to do, and they resonate with it. It is something they want to do, it's something they do value themselves as well, and that way you become unstoppable.
It's such a great idea. I just imagine that it just makes sense to get everyone who is working supposedly for this one mission or purpose, right? Mm-hmm. That's what a business or an organization is for. But the more I feel into it, first it's second nature, it's common sense to me, it feels right. But then I start to feel into the huge corporations out there. Like imagine Microsoft or HP even needing to do a quarterly meeting where every single employee in the world tunes in to a video broadcast of who knows how many employees, and then everyone is reminded of the purpose. And to me that's a bit funny, because I know so many people, friends in the corporate world who constantly complain to me and tell me how they have no clue what their role is in their work, in the job, and they feel like this little mouse who's just running in their cage, doing what they're supposed to, so that the owner, if it's a private company, the owner, the family can earn more and more and more and more. But for them it's quite meaningless. I know a lot of people who are in jobs who don't at all connect to what the company is actually providing and giving. They have zero connection.
Yeah.
And especially emotional attachment to why they're all there.
Yeah. And those companies are being led. There's a so-called leader. However, judging from what you're saying, are those people in charge actually leaders? And in my book, they are not. They're managers. They are people who set just some kind of goal and they go for it, but they don't actually inspire other people to go with them and communicate what their real vision is. And I think that is a crucial part of being a leader.
Would you say in that case that person in the leadership position is actually using the employees then? Because they have a I don't want to say selfish, but they have a goal that's oriented towards themselves, and no one else really knows what the heck they're contributing to.
Yeah, I mean,
other than what's the responsibilities given to them.
Yeah, I guess it depends whether the leader, where they have the vision and they're just incapable of communicating it, or whether they just really are doing it out of self-interest. And you do see it with companies that certain CEOs that get hired, they're just mercenaries. They just do it and they're basically bleeding the company for their own benefit. And yes, they are definitely using the company, they're using the owners, they're just using everyone really for their own benefit.
Or just in certain cases, like the documentary saw about the financial crisis and how, the dudes in Wall Street, even after the event, still got massive bonuses.
Yeah.
And it just, on some level, it makes no sense at all.
Absolutely, it doesn't make any sense. And so, coming back to what we are about is helping people get in touch what it is actually they want to create, stepping up and then taking the action to do that, and to step out of the comfort zone, make it bigger than you. It's not just about, leading a nice lifestyle or whatever. It is much, much more. And for that, you need also people who get involved within the project. And that's where it becomes interesting, because suddenly if it's bigger than you, there is a point where you have to let go, because it's not under your control, and you have to trust and you have to recruit people and all of that.
I guess in a sense you're also pointing towards how we can't build a business in isolation.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you can be in a cave meditating all day, you can crank out the most magical whatever thing that people want, but at the end of the day, how stable or how sustainable is that business model when you don't have an alliance? And by alliance, what I really mean is, colleagues who you have connections with, people who support you along the way, and you're not just this lonely entrepreneur floating in the middle of nowhere, just trying to figure your way out. Like, sometimes I see this a lot. I see a solopreneur or someone, and they literally feel like they're on their boat alone in the ocean and there's nothing out there. But I don't think that's the case. And if we really build a community together, and that's why under every single podcast episode there is a comment section below. So if something has struck you, or if there's something that resonated, and even if you have questions about your own situation, head over to the show notes and write down under the bottom where the comment section is, and let us know what you're going through. Because as we all share, everyone can benefit from it, and we begin to realize that we're not the only one in this kind of situation.
What I see is that people who are aligned and who are stepping up and they have some kind of bigger vision, the working with us, people who get in touch with that and they realize it and they go for it, they don't necessarily even have to see themselves as leader, nor describe themselves in that way, because being a leader just then becomes a natural byproduct. It wasn't that, I don't believe him, I haven't read Gandhi's biography, but I don't believe Gandhi was like, yes, I'm going to be a leader and I'm going to do that. No, there was just a cause and he wanted to go for it, and he was with his whole life subscribing to that, and it just naturally made him a leader in this position. And that's, I think lots of people overthink leadership and think, like I said, certain qualities and all of that. But I believe those qualities are natural when all the insecurities kind of fall away, and when we have this greater cause and we go for it, then we become natural leaders. It's nothing that needs to be forced or learned in some way or anything like that.
So you think that everyone is a leader? It's not just a thing you're born with?
No, everyone has the capacity for it. If you are actually going for that, and if that is your path, well, that's a different question. But I don't believe it is something that only a select few have.
And it's necessary that you do have a sense of direction and focus when you are leading.
Yeah.
Or else, where are you going?
Exactly.
You're just like a very passionate person spewing your words or action towards everything.
Mm-hmm.
And in that sense, when your energy is scattered, no matter how passionate you are and how much action you're taking, you're going in random directions, and the momentum's going to be all over the place. You can't capture that.
Mm-hmm. I just believe that every person on this planet has, its place. And for some people that will be being at the forefront, going into the unknown, having a vision, implementing it. And there's other people who want to take more of a supportive role in that. And does that mean that they can't lead? I don't think so. However, they're what they are passionate about and what brings their soul to sing is more of being supportive and implementing and all of that, and they don't even want to, lead in any way, shape, or form.
Can't you? I don't know. Maybe we're getting a bit too philosophical, but this is how I see it. There are going to be people who are leading others, as in other people. There are going to be people, for example, we read about pretty much responsibility, right? Mm-hmm. Every goal we set, every metric we have, someone should be responsible for that, right? Mm-hmm. Someone is accountable. Mm-hmm. Now, if I think, or if I imagine someone who's accountable for something, it could be a department or even just their goal or whatever their work is, doesn't mean that they have people underneath them that they manage, right? Or a team underneath them. But if they are responsible and they are accountable for even data or a process, in some ways they are being the creator. They are playing the jigsaw puzzle. They are playing the dominoes. Like for me, it's as if like they're a god within their world, and the pieces they put together and manipulate and make more with what's available to them. For me, that's them leading their life in the way that's right for them. It just, the chess pieces aren't people. Well, not that you should ever chess piece a person, but do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What they're playing with, the medium that they're kind of using is not people. Because some people like to lead a tribe,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean that the other people aren't leading something. So I would
Yeah.
say that being a leader or leading is really being a creator, taking on the responsibility and having that accountability towards something.
Well, there's also always the part where you are leading yourself in a way. Now, I don't want to go too deep into that, but there is definitely something where you are stepping up for yourself, where you are courageous, where you are going deeper into yourself and exploring what is there. And I believe all leadership really starts with yourself, because if you can't, lead yourself, how are you going to lead anything else?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And this is exactly it. It's as if we have this huge box of chocolates
Mm-hmm.
in our life. There are different, characteristics to us. There are different choices we can make. Sometimes we can be too lazy, very sloth-like, or we can also have an ego and things like that. But how do you choose to lead yourself? What are you going to pick? Are you going to pick the qualities that can actually bring something into the world, that invigorates you? And the same thing for someone else, right? The pieces might not be their personality, but maybe they want to bring something into the world. They want to take charge, right? And create and do something in this world. And even that action, that source of creation, to me, they're leading in their own way.
And again, I think the whole topic of self-leadership can be, you can overthink it in some way, shape or form, because just go and take action, do your thing, it's not that complicated. It's just when we get hung up about the details and is this now self-leadership or not and whatever, just forget about it. Just go live your life and do whatever you want to do.
I guess in other words, leadership can mean that you really push yourself towards what you want, almost to the edge. Or you can also be comfortable in doing something that just feels right.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's less of a pushing and just a curiosity and a yearning and a exploring. Because for me, pushing always sounds kind of forceful. And I've never, in my own experience, just never really worked. The whole pushing approach, trying to push myself. It always backfired.
You know what I want to end this episode with?
No.
Is with this image I have of a farmer. So they have the land, they're working with the earth, something they literally, on some level, cannot control. Right? You can fertilize it, you can choose a plot of land and all that kind of stuff. But that farmer, in my opinion, is leading by taking something, doing something with it, having a vision, nurturing it, putting that energy in, yet respecting not just themselves, but what's on the outside, what medium they're playing with. You can't push that seed. You can't force it. You can't force the seasons. There needs to be this balance between you doing the best you can, having a sort of feeling of what it is that you want to create, and then having this co-creation with the world at the same time.
Yep.
Because being a leader means that on some level you also don't have control, but you really do take control of the part that you have control over.
Yeah, and that's a very wise thing to be aware of. What is it that you actually can influence and what is it that you can't influence? Because so many people, they spend time worrying about stuff and keeping themselves busy in their thoughts about things they have absolutely no influence over, unless they actively go and decide to do something about it. Whereas just focusing on what you can influence. And for me, that was a big kind of liberation, just knowing, I'm just going to show up, I'm going to do my best with my clients, and that's it. I don't have any further control beyond what's happening. The universe is there, the other person is there, all kinds of stuff have to happen. I just need to show up, and I just need to do my thing. And that's it.
Mm-hmm. Do what you can and then let go of the rest.
Yeah.
That seems to be it. The best way to lead.
Yeah. The results are not up to me.
No. And I'm sure a farmer would really, really know that. He just does his or her best.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that. Huh?
Yeah, and I'm gonna go sleep now.
Me too.
I'm so tired.
Oh. Well, today has been a funny episode. We tried to unpack...
Did you laugh?
No, Jachym, you're so not funny when it's late at night. But... Well, okay. Well, today is funny because we talked about leadership, but we kind of went in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
We started off with what we believe isn't leadership, where we talked about in the previous episode about what natural leadership is and how you should enforce it. And we talked also about how, yes, you need a direction or else you're just passionate about something. And how just to be a leader doesn't mean that you need to mobilize a whole group of people or a tribe. It can be you doing the best that you can and co-creating with the world. Mm-hmm. Whatever form that takes. Doesn't need to be people.
Amen and good night.
So anyways, if you have your piece on leadership and that metaphor with the farmer, if it relates to you and you're trying to sow your first seed and you are just looking into what it is that I wish to plant, what should I let go of? Because really it's up to nature. It's not up to me to control that or even to worry about that. What can you take full responsibility for? What is in your full capacity, in your full control? Anyways, those are just some thoughts that are running through my mind. And if you have something to share, you would like to reflect with me, then head over to the show notes at
bizinflow.com and then go to the podcast and to the episode number, which I don't know what it is. Anyways, I wanted to thank you because our numbers keep growing, our download numbers, meaning you have been sharing it in some way, shape or form, and we very much appreciate that.
Yeah, we love it when we have more years, imaginary years who are here with us. Hopefully they're a pair. I'm getting really weird now.
I think it's time to say goodbye. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this was useful for you.
Good night.
And we're going to speak to you in another episode.
And hopefully I'll be less weird next time. See you then.
Bye-bye.